Welcome to a new episode of Opening Bid. I'm Yahoo Finance Executive Editor Brian Sozzi. Look, we usually hit it very, very hard each and every day from the NASDAQ market site right in the middle of Times Square, but I want to change it up. I never want to get sell. I always want to be forward-looking. So in the spirit of all those things, no pun intended, you'll get that in about a second, we are at Suntory's New York City headquarters. They, of course, are the legendary alcohol maker. They own Jim Beam. They make amazing Japanese whiskeys. I'm going to talk to longtime President and CEO Tak Niinami, ready to have an amazing conversation about the future of alcohol consumption, future of Japanese economy, future of the economy, lots of futuristic stuff. I am so excited to bring you this conversation. Sit back, take a watch, take a listen, and take a sip. Tak, good to see you. The last time I think we talked was at an equally beautiful place at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Thank you for welcoming us into your home, Suntory headquarters in New York City. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for taking time, Brian. As a matter of fact, the Davos was freezing.
Freezing, but this what's in this glass will surely warm us up. Exactly. So talk to us. I can't believe you're 10 years in. 10 years into being the CEO of Suntory? What is the state of the business today?
I think we've been doing very well because of the tenacious efforts to upgrade the quality, always quality, and then communicate with the consumer. I think 10 years is kind of very quick, time flies so fast.
You look like the same guy that I met 10 years ago.
Oh, thank you. And I think because of my team, I did a great job.
Mm-hmm. So where are you focused? There's a lot of different places to go with this, but when I walk down the alcohol aisle, I see so much innovation, and your portfolio is so big. I mean, how are you expanding the business? What does the business of whiskey and spirits look like?
Thinking about the past 10 years, ups and downs, but the key thing is key expression is East meets West. Our culture married with the culture of the Beam, now called the Suntory Global Spirits. And both created a very positive explosion, which is toward the innovation. Such as this one. This is a Legend. This is American whiskey as a result of the tenacious effort of the two master blenders, chief blenders from Kentucky, from Yamazaki distillery. So we are very much unique, putting two cultures together. But our underlying culture is, I believe, Suntoryism. Mm-hmm. That is always giving back to society, always worship nature, because water is a blessing, weather is a blessing for us to make good whiskey and good products.
How have you made, that Jim Beam deal feels like yesterday. I remember covering that. How have you integrated the different cultures of the two companies? Because I think a lot of companies can run that same playbook when they acquire companies. Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, when I visited Beam Suntory 10 years ago, I thought something was missing. There was as a matter of fact, two key things, which we thought was so important. One, we call gemba. There are two gemba. One is production site, distillery. Beam hadn't invested to production quality. So we thought that we need to fix it because that's the source of generating cash. So the second one is communicating with the consumer. I thought that Beam Suntory lacked that sense of touching point with the consumer. So I strengthened to put more resources to communicate with the consumers. So I took initiative by so many engages with the then the CEO of Beam Suntory to put more resources to two key factors, gemba. So that created first the much better quality products and much more gross margin rates. So I think as a result of that effort of driving the Beam Suntory to Suntory, I think we created 3 times as much as than the value. So I think the current financial value would be $5.5 billion to $6 billion.
Wow. You were ahead, just given at the valuation on some of these companies that have been sold since, you were ahead of the curve on this deal. And given how you've integrated the cultures, is Suntory still acquisitive? I mean, do you feel like you have more spots you can add or fill in the portfolio?
Yes, definitely. 2 things. One, we can upgrade the quality of current bourbon, such as the makers and such as
It's pretty good already.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
And Fred know and Freddie know those founding families. They're doing great, and we are working together. So we can upgrade the quality first. Second, we can go to the RTDs, which is due to the unique portfolio. We have the soft drink division. The other one is spirits. Put them together. But often the case, there exists a huge dichotomy of the cultural difference, right? But here, maybe Diageo, here, Coke, right? But because of the concept of one Suntory, which means we get rid of any silos, and we communicate with each other to make unique products. So now putting lots of resources to RTDs like seltzer. So we launched a spirits-based RTD called -196, and it's been well received by many consumers through our wholesalers.
You were in the convenience store channel before this. What made you get involved with the world of alcohol?
Well, it's a really personal relation with Gary Sozzi, then the CEO of Suntory, now chairman of Suntory. We've been so close, and I was impressed by his passion to make Suntory global. And I wanted to join the journey. And he decided to buy out the Beam. Then, why not?
It's very special to work with still a family involved business. I mean, how do you as a CEO, you want to be in growth mode, but how is it like working with a family that, this business has been around, since 1899?
That's right.
Tremendous.
125 years.
Yeah.
Well, key thing is, I really respect the founding spirit. That is, always, we have to do something new to impress our consumer as well as society. Second is giving back to society always. So the founder has been doing 2 things, and that has been carried over as long as 125 years. And nowadays, people say sustainability is so important, but we started many years ago because we worship the value of nature. Because to make whiskey, we need a beautiful water, quality water, and great weather. That makes the whiskey, such as Yamazaki. Mm-hmm. So we just follow the basic, like good ingredients, good quality water. Everything is so important, but that is given by the nature.
I imagine you're a deep thinker, and to that end, if you're thinking out 25 years from now, given what we're seeing with storm activity in the U.S., climate change, ocean levels rising, how is that going to change the business of alcohol? At the end of the day, to your point, you need water, you need clean water, you need access to these raw materials.
Well, first, because of the huge distortions, because we human beings emitted and still emitting lots of carbon, and that caused huge problems in the world. And weather is so bad, and take a look at the lots of natural disasters. So we corporate as Suntory, we have to give back to society like water conservancy, and we replenish water as much as we use, at least. and we educate the importance of natural water to children. So we do our best to do for the society, like to reserve nature and reserve forests, reserve water, and the biodiversity, like ocean pollution. And we are now working on recycling, which means we will change entire plastic bottles to sustainable plastic bottles.
That's hard to do with alcohol, right?
No, I mean, I'm talking about soft drink, but we use sometimes plastics. So that is causing lots of problems in ocean pollution, right? So we have to address social issues so that we can be appreciated by the community. And drinking is sometimes a huge criticism from society. But we are good citizens in society, and we are now promoting heavy drinking, moderate drinking. That creates good bonding among people. So we are talking about that, and plus we are talking that we are doing great thing to society as the corporate citizen. So that's what we've been doing, and we will promote furthermore.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Opening Bid. Our generation, I mean, we're different ages, but let's say there's a whole younger generation that doesn't seem to be drinking like you and I would. I come home, I have a drink, I relax a little bit after a tough day, but they're different. I mean, how do you overcome that as a company?
Well, it doesn't mean we need to promote heavy drinking. We just give some ideas so that they can feel relaxing or refreshing by drinking our whiskey or products such as gin and vodka. But we have to let them know it's a great thing to drink moderate, but not the heavy drinking, and not the, of course, the binge drinking is so bad.
It's so bad.
Right, so we have to talk. Binge drinking is so bad, heavy drinking is so bad. We have to talk about that. Mm-hmm. And the moderate drinking is good for you, so that you can feel good and bond with your friends. So, and plus, again, we have to demonstrate that we are contributing to society. I don't think shrinking is a good idea. And up to the how they want to enjoy, our products, our whiskey, our vodka, our gin, for example. So I don't think that's the right way for us to demonstrate that to reduce the alcohol consumption.
Mm-hmm. You wear a lot of different hats. I'm always reading about comments you make about the economy, on the Japanese economy and the US economy. Let's start on the Japanese economy. That is an economy coming out of a very low growth environment, low interest rates for a long period of time. What is the state of the Japanese economy?
It's been a while since we were so much suffered from deflation. We call lost 30 years. So now we are now waking up from deflation to inflation. Now the Japan's inflation is almost same as the number of the United States. So all of a sudden, people are suffered from inflation, not deflation. So how we can support those consumers suffering from inflation, which means we should offer value-added products. So that's what we are doing. But going back to the Japan's economy, we are now in a tipping point. How we deal with the inflationary landscape, which is completely different than that of deflation. That means wage will increase continuously, and consumers should believe that. Then consumers should enjoy some interesting products, innovation. And over the 30 years, we didn't see lots of innovations in Japan. So innovation is a key word for economy.
Do you see parallels between what, the past 30 years in Japan and what the next 30 might be in China?
That's a good question. We have business in China, and China is suffering from deflation now. I'm sorry to say, but that's true. And the deflation in China is very similar to the one we experience. Key issue is people have money, but people don't want to spend money. And the overproduction, and that is trying to reduce price every day. And tomorrow the price goes down. So that's the same as what happened in Japan. So China takes a lot of time to get rid of the deflation, but we will stay there until they will come back to inflation, moderate inflation. So next 10, 20 years, perhaps China will be back. So we'll be staying in China using our know-how, which we earned, we earned in Japan. So, but a key thing is I found is over 30 years of deflation, what lacked is the innovation. So most corporates do not go for innovation because of deflation. That's not true. That's not good. People have money. People need something interesting, something innovative. So because of deflationary time, innovative products are needed for those people who have money and who have stress. So they need something new.
Speaking of stress, what, from the outside looking in, because I think you offer a very unique perspective compared to a lot of the US-based CEOs that we typically talk to, what's your view of US politics here? How polarized has it become, and how do you view the US economy at its current juncture? Very important juncture, I should add.
Well, I think consumer confidence has been waning because the huge difference between now and right after the COVID, because at the time of the COVID, a lot of cash was delivered to individuals, right? And they've got the cash. And they started to buy lots of products to be consumed at home. So, but now the people got depleted from the cash they got from the government. So I believe the party is over. I think consumers are realistic to see quality. So there is perhaps no big difference between luxury brand and super premium. The price-wise, luxury is a lot more than premium plus. And I think same as the premium plus versus premium, I think consumers started to see quality difference and pay for the money or not. And
I had a lot of your products delivered during the pandemic. I mean, they delivered them right to my house, Tak. I mean, it really worked for me. But do you, given everything you see in the U.S. politically, are you excited to put money to work in the U.S.? Is the U.S. economy still doing it for you? I mean, is it a growth? You view it as a growth mechanism?
I think definitely, because the U.S. is the center of innovation. Unless we are here, we don't know anything about the innovation in the world. So I think definitely we want to compete based on innovation that is in the US. And we'd like to take the innovation to other part of the world, even Asia, even in Europe. So we have to be here in the United States, and we have to fight based on innovation.
You've been doing this, you've been a leader for some time. Any good inspiration to other leaders? I imagine you've learned a lot over the past decades of your careers. What's your advice to the next generation of leaders?
Go see the lots of influential leaders in business to be enlightened by the importance of innovation, and don't stay with the common sense, and it doesn't last, and don't talk to the people with all this we are talking about the common sense, and I mean, innovation comes out of the perhaps very weird ideas, and how to make use of AI. You need a creativity. So new technology is needed by some very interesting ideas.
I think the team is going to bring us out something special here. We have, I believe one of your whiskeys just won an award, the Supreme Champion Spirit Award. I mean, what does it mean like to have that, to win something like that?
Oh, yeah. That's Yamazaki 12.
Let's go.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Look, Tak, they just appear. I mean, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
What is the proper way to, how should I drink this before I even, is
Well,
there?
just smell it and sip a little bit.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what should I be tasting in this moment? Like what, bring it to life for me.
Well, you just feel the taste in the mouth. And our whiskey has the malt palate. First, maybe a little bit sweet, and the tardiness comes after, and the sweet next, again, tardiness. So kind of, malt palates.
What's your before we go, what's your go-to? I mean, there's a lot of brands in the Suntory portfolio. I mean, when you come home after a day of meetings and traveling the world, what do you go to?
Good question. Every night that changes, but my favorite is Hibiki Blender's Choice. I don't know if it's promoted in the States or not, but I love it. And it's a blended Japanese whiskey, but it's the recommended by our chief blender, and that's a beautiful quality.
Well, Tak, cheers. It's been, one, thank you for letting us into your New York City home, but it's been a pleasure following your career the past 10 years. Looking forward to seeing you on the ground, the World Economic Forum again in January. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.